And that rivalry will continue later tonight here on TNT. The Celtics and the Lakers, their final regular season meeting. And you see the championships between the two, and this is just classic stuff.
Greatest rivalry in sports, Ernie.
Perfect. No, in basketball.
No. What's the other one?
Oh, Yankees, Red Sox is not bad.
The Red Sox have won 2 championships, and the Yankees won 27, Kenny.
This is probably the best in sports, and great time to have Kevin McHale here. Great time to have Kenny here, too, by the way.
Hey, I went to pinstripe suit.
Hey, how was the circus? You went to the circus?
I went to pinstripe
because they trying to tell me you said a zebra got you stuck in traffic.
I saw a zebra on the news. I'm just wondering how
you saw a zebra. Where did you see it at?
On the news.
Where was it?
On the connector, on the interstate.
Okay.
You don't have to get on the interstate to come here.
I don't stay in the same hotel you do.
I know you, but you can come down Peachtree. You don't have to ever get on the expressway.
Well, I don't come the same way you come. You stay at 2 miles away.
I
know.
I stay in Buckhead.
Just say you went to the circus.
No. You've been traded for 3 zebras and a bearded lady. Okay, so the Boston Celtics and the Lakers tonight. This is, I mean, in your estimation, best in sports?
Yeah, it's a great rivalry. I mean, it goes so far back. I mean, you're talking about the Celtics with the Lakers with Jerry West and the Bill Russell Celtics, and just fighting off and fighting over and over again. And I know for me in the '80s, it was it kind of defined the '80s for me in basketball. There was that championship finals was always just great rivalry and great basketball.
And this going back to the '60s, and then you know, of course, you're going up against the Showtime Lakers, and you and Larry and Chief, and it's just such a rich time in the NBA.
Yeah, it really was. And I tell people all the time, you know, Larry and Magic came in and really changed the game around, I think, in the NBA. In the end of the '70s, it was losing a little bit of luster, and all of a sudden, this is a great shot, by the way. That helped win a championship. Nelly shoots one off the back pinner, goes straight in the air and goes in. That's why they say Celtic luck, by the way. and then here comes our era with playing with those guys. That guy, Magic Johnson, was such a force, and you always knew that you could play good against the Lakers and still lose. Very seldom did you feel you could lose if you played well, and it was a great rivalry. And again, you got Bird, and you got that guy right there. He was quite a player.
What I like is genuine hatred. That's what I like about this rivalry. This was 2 teams. You guys really didn't like each other. That's what I like. I mean, it wasn't this fake stuff that you see nowadays.
No, you're right.
If you compared any other team or any other rivalries in sports, what would you compare it to?
I think if you talk about maybe, you know, like you say, Red Sox, Yankees, but then again,
but the Red Sox never won.
It's so one-sided, you know, with the Yankees winning all the championships and stuff. I don't know. I think it's unique when you look at those teams and the amount of championships that they were able to collect together and really dominate eras of basketball. It's been amazing.
Okay, I want to say.
Let me ask you, how many times did the Lakers win? These guys met in the finals 11 times. The Lakers and Celtics. How many times did the Lakers win?
5.
2. 9 to 2.
Hey, okay, I want to apologize to the Red Sox Nation. They won 7. That makes a lot better than 27 of you.
You think about the Boston Celtics and Lakers rivalry, and no matter how you want to slice it and how politically correct you want to be, it's East versus West.
No,
it's East versus. It's not East versus West.
It has nothing to do with that. I got to tell you,
East versus West has nothing to do with it.
You know what?
East versus West has nothing to do with East versus West.
I'm telling you.
What are you talking about?
There's hatred right there.
That was an offensive foul, by the way. Look, he ran right into my forearm. That's an offensive foul.
When you have to beat a certain team every year, they don't look at East-West. The Lakers and the Celtics, they play in the finals every year. It wasn't East against, they just hate each other.
If you're a fan, you're East versus West, and politically correct or incorrect. You have Magic versus Bird, white versus black. You had everything subplotted subliminally in this series.
I tell you what,
that's what I'm talking about.
When I see these series,
East versus
when I see
Kurt Rambis in the midst of every
fight.
Indeed.
Dude, when I see Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and Kareem and everybody, Kev, you look like Brad Pitt.
I wish I looked like Brad. Look at Bob McAdoo taking a swing at me.
I love this. Look at this.
Why don't you quit hitting people?
Everybody's getting shots.
I'm trying to hit somebody. Everybody's hitting me. That's a foul.
Everybody's taking shots at everybody. That's what I love about this rivalry.
Well, you know what? Because 2 things. We knew we could play really well and lose, and they knew they could play really well and lose. So what it was an edge. You had to go out there and you had to establish some form of edge that you physically weren't going to back down. You were going to take bodies out. You were willing to fight.
Were there guys you felt that on both teams were intimidated by this?
I think that the thing is you really couldn't intimidate them that much. I mean, like neither team was going to back up. So what happens is that you get two. You know, the two forces that are coming together, and you can't back each other up. But you knew one thing: if you gave James Worthy a half a step, you were never going to beat him. You had to knock him down. You had to hit him. And we actually just had a really respect for each other, but we really disliked each other. Like I wanted nothing to do with anybody from the Lakers. Didn't want to talk to him. Didn't want to do anything. All I wanted to do was just hit him and try to win the game.
You know, I played in the Celtics-76ers rivalry, and it's got the same type of hatred.
Yep.
And when we played them in the preseason, we got to fight in the preseason. Like Dr. J says, I hate the Celtics. Like we bumped into these guys in a Las Vegas casino one time, my first year in the league. And I always said, why do the doctors don't speak to them? I'm like, we hate those guys. I'm like, we do? So I bumped into Kevin and Robert Parrish later on that night in the casino, and they were the nicest guys in the world. Then we played them like a week later, and we got in a fist fight. I was holding Dr. J says, and I could just like to say, we hate those guys. And I said, why? He said, because we got to beat them to get to the finals. Mm-hmm. He says, any team that you know, we can't get to the finals unless we beat the Boston Celtics. And it was the same thing, you know, you asked me, I understand the East and West thing you're making, but to win the championship in the 80s, you had to beat the Lakers or the Celtics. That's where the hatred come in.
And here's the thing, too. When you're in the finals, you're so close. You can see the brass ring. You know you're 4 wins away from a championship. You're jacked up. You're ready to go. And they're just in your way. And you know they're thinking the same thing. They're thinking we're 4 wins away from a championship. And, again, both teams, now you look back on it like James Worthy is one of the nicest guys in the world. All I did was try to hit him and hold him and grab him and punch him. And I'm glad I didn't get a chance to know him beforehand because you wouldn't have wanted to play that hard against him.
Wonderful, wonderful memories, great images. Thanks to our guys for digging those up from.
There go Brad Pitt.
Yeah, how about that?
I'm telling you, boy, when you standing next to Bird and McHale, and Bird and Parrish,
I tell you
Kareem, you look like Brad Pitt. I'm telling you.
That's the first time anybody's ever said that.
I've said this before. That's the best player right there I ever played against, Kevin McHale.
More to come on TNT NBA Tip-Off presented by Autotrader.com right after this.
Dr. James, the best player you played against?
No.
Hey, you don't get to crack.